I never thought I'd become one of those guys. You know, the kind of man who tells his story on Reddit or YouTube, desperate to make sense of something so surreal, so humiliating, that it almost feels made up. But it's not. This happened. And the part that destroys me the most, it happened while I was home, in the same house, just a wall away, lost in a headset, shooting enemies in a virtual world, completely unaware that the real battle for my dignity was being fought in the bedroom just a few feet away. This isn't just another Reddit cheating story. It's my story, and it starts with trust. I've been with my wife for 6 years, married for 4. We were the type of couple people described as solid. Not flashy, not dramatic, just consistent. We had our hobbies, our space, our inside jokes. I'm a gamer, not obsessively, but enough to unwind after work. She always said she liked that about me, that I didn't go out, didn't drink, didn't chase anything but achievements. Her words, not mine. We had our routines. Taco Tuesdays, Sunday morning walks, late night YouTube binges. I thought we were fine. I really did, until my best friend moved in. Let's call him Mark. We've been boys since high school. Laughed through heartbreaks. Survived dumb mistakes. He was practically a brother. So when he lost his job and needed a place to crash, it wasn't even a question. We had a guest room, a big heart, and a history of loyalty. My wife was okay with it too, at first. They joked a lot, but nothing I found strange. Mark's always been flirty, loud, the life of every room. I figured, hey, she's just being friendly, until friendly became familiarity, and familiarity became routine. It started small. Late night talks in the kitchen while I played. I'd hear their voices through my headset, laughing softly, sometimes whispering. Once or twice, I'd pause my game and peek, only see them at opposite sides of the island, sipping wine, nothing more. She'd say they were just catching up, and I believed her, because that's what trust does. It silences suspicion. But looking back now, I should have known. The signs were there. Her body language, the way she dressed when he was home, the way she downplayed our intimacy. She stopped sitting next to me on the couch, started going to bed early, started waking up happier than she went to sleep. The night it happened, the night everything changed, was a Saturday. I remember it too well. I had just downloaded a new FPS game I'd been dying to try. She said she had a headache and wanted to lie down. Mark was already in his room, or so I thought. I put on my headset, turned off the lights, and immersed myself. Headshots, explosions, voice chat with strangers. I lost all track of time. At some point, I heard a door creak. Muffled laughter. A soft, but I dismissed it. My wife laughs a lot. She probably opened the window. Maybe the cat knocked something over. My world was inside that screen. 2 hours later, I took off my headset and went to the kitchen for water. Mark's door was still closed. The hallway was quiet, but our bedroom door was slightly open. I pushed it gently. Empty. The sheets were a mess. Her phone wasn't on the nightstand. My stomach turned. A chill ran through me. But again, I told myself I was paranoid. I walked to Mark's room. Knocked. Silence. Knocked again. Nothing. I opened the door, and there they were, tangled, asleep, naked, my wife and my best friend. I stood there, frozen. I wanted to scream, to rip the room apart, but I couldn't move. My brain couldn't process it. The betrayal was too deep, too intimate. It wasn't just about sex. It was the when, the how. I was home, playing games like a fool. They did it knowing I was there, not afraid of being caught, maybe hoping I would. I backed out of the room like I'd walked into a nightmare. Sat in the living room in silence until the sun came up. When they came out, they tried to pretend. Said they were drunk. Said it was a mistake. But their eyes said everything. It wasn't the first time. For days I couldn't eat, couldn't speak, couldn't think without picturing them. She begged for forgiveness. Mark packed his things without looking at me. Said he didn't mean to, as if that made a difference. I asked her how long. She said 3 weeks. I asked why. She said she felt unseen, that I was more interested in my games. And that's when I realized she had rewritten the story, made herself the victim. blamed my escapism while she escaped into my best friend's bed. The irony was cruel. I played games to avoid stress. She created the very storm I was trying to escape. In the weeks that followed, I went down a dark path. Depression, isolation. I questioned my worth, my masculinity, my instincts. How could I not see it? How could I have been that guy? I avoided everyone, shut down emotionally. Then, one night browsing forums, I stumbled on a discussion about emotional triggers. A post mentioned text chemistry, a method used to rebuild emotional attraction. Designed for women, yes, but relevant for anyone who's been blindsided. I bought it out of desperation, but it surprised me. It wasn't just about texts. It broke down how emotional bonds are formed and broken. It showed me patterns I'd missed. Emotional microcheating, detachment, the phases of loss before the act. It wasn't about getting her back. God, no. It was about getting me back, understanding where I lost connection with myself, where I stopped noticing, and more importantly, where I allowed things that should have been addressed. Text chemistry taught me how connection works, not just in romance, but in self-worth. I started seeing clearly, remembering my value, setting boundaries. I didn't reach out to her, didn't fight for an apology. I just let go. After Mark left, the silence in the house wasn't peaceful. It was suffocating. The kind of silence that hums in your ears, makes every clock tick louder, and turns even the smallest memory into a dagger. Her perfume still lingered on the sheets. A hair tie left on the bathroom counter mocked me every morning. I tried to throw her things out, but every object came with a flashback. Her laugh in the hallway, her voice humming in the shower, her body curled up next to mine before all of this. My home had become a museum of betrayal, and I was the only visitor, wandering room to room, reliving the collapse. She kept texting, calling, leaving voicemails that ranged from apologies to anger to emotional blackmail. One day, she begged me to talk. The next, she blamed me for being too cold, too distracted. The irony? She was trying to play victim in the story she destroyed. I didn't respond, not out of strength, but because I had nothing left to say, nothing that wouldn't be swallowed by her need to justify what she did. The truth was, I didn't want closure. I wanted distance, and even that felt like a battle. I began writing, not publicly at first, just for me. Pages filled with questions I'd never ask her. Sentences soaked in rage, in guilt, in disbelief. That's when I found Reddit. It started with reading other people's pain, stories that mirrored mine. My wife cheated with my brother. I found texts between her and my best friend. He blamed me for working too much while he slept with our neighbor. Post after post, I realized something both heartbreaking and strangely comforting. I wasn't alone. r/relationship_advice, r/aita, r/just know so. Those threads were filled with people trying to survive the unthinkable. So I posted mine, under a throwaway. I titled it, "My wife slept with my best friend while I was in the next room playing video games." The response was overwhelming. Strangers validating my pain, others confessing they'd been through the same. Some angry, some empathetic, but all real. That thread gave me something my marriage hadn't given me in years. Honesty. Raw, painful, anonymous truth. And that thread is what led me here, to telling this story now. Healing didn't come in a wave. It came in fragments. Like when I changed the bed sheets and didn't flinch. Like the day I boxed up her photos without crying. Like when I passed the game console and felt nothing but silence, not shame. Each moment was a small victory in a war I never asked for. I started seeing a therapist. Not because I was weak, but because I didn't want to carry the weight of her choices any longer. Therapy helped me unpack the real questions. Why didn't I walk away sooner? Why did I ignore the signs? And most of all, how can I ever trust again? That last one still lingers. Trust is a strange thing. It doesn't die in one blow, it decays. Slowly, quietly, and by the time you realize it's gone, you're already living in the wreckage. I used to think loyalty was enough, that being the good guy would protect me, but now I know better. Loyalty without boundaries is self-betrayal. And silence when something feels off isn't maturity. It's fear. I learned that the hard way. A few weeks ago, I saw Mark's name in a mutual friends group chat. He's out there, pretending like nothing happened, probably telling his own version of the story. I won't reach out. There's nothing left to say to a man who looked me in the eye, drank my beer, shared my couch, and slept with my wife. If karma exists, it doesn't need me to move. It will find him eventually. As for her, I hope she finds whatever she was looking for. Maybe it was attention. Maybe escape. Maybe just someone who wasn't me. But I won't spend my life solving that puzzle. Her reasons don't matter anymore. What matters is that I finally put myself back together without her. And I'm stronger than before. Not colder. Just clearer. If you're listening to this and going through something similar, if you've been cheated on, lied to, blamed for someone else's selfishness, let me tell you this. You're not broken. You're not unlovable. You're not weak for feeling wrecked. You're human, and there's a way forward. It might start in silence, in a dark room, with a shattered heart, but step by step, you arise. Even if the people who broke you never say sorry. And if you need help understanding why it happened, or how to protect yourself emotionally in the future, check the link in the description. Text chemistry isn't just for winning someone back. It's about understanding the language of connection, the patterns behind desire, the signals that say more than words. It helped me rebuild from inside out, and it might be exactly what you need to finally stop blaming yourself.